Hello family, this is Eazi Herbs back again with another important topic. And if you're new to this channel, can you please like, subscribe and leave a comment. And today, I'm going to be talking to you about the human microbiome. And I'm going to be including the immune system, viruses, and how to defend yourself against COVID-19. And I'm also going to be dropping you some jewels of what I have at home. So please take note, stay in tune, hope you enjoy, and it's going to be a lot of information, so I hope you have a pen and pad, and we're definitely going to keep it rocking, yeah? So I'm going to start off with the human microbiome, yeah? So we know that the human body is composed of 3 microorganisms, which are called eukarya, bacteria, and archaea, and also viruses. Yeah, this is what composes of a human's body. So the human microbiome are going to be discussing all of these types of areas here, and the fact that the human microbiome aggregates all microbiota means all microorganisms that are in and on the human body, and also biofluids, so saliva and etc. Yeah, so we're talking about your skin and all the organs. Yeah, understanding that, we have to look at percentages. Yeah, and the percentages of a human body, I'm gonna break it down right now. The human body is composed of 37.2 trillion of cells. Yeah, bacteria now is 10 times more. Yeah, so that means that us as human beings are 99.9% identical. Yeah, sorry about this, but yeah, leaving that 1%, which makes us who we are. So when we're talking about in terms of microbes, microorganisms, we're going to be referring it as genomes. And when we're talking about cells and what makes us who we are as individuals, we're talking about genetics, yeah? So 1% makes up 37.2 trillion of cells. This is on average, depending on the size of the person, yeah? So that's percentages, yeah? And I'm definitely gonna give you some enlightenment on bacteria. So, because bacteria has a stigma, it's like when people hear bacteria, the first thing they think is just get rid of it, let's wash it, let's clean it, yeah? But we need to understand now, as we're composed of 99.9% bacteria, what is the ratio of bacteria that is good and what's the ratio of bacteria that's bad? So we know Yeah, that 80% of the bacteria that we have in our body are good bacteria. Yeah. Bacteria in many ways the reason why we're alive today, yeah? Okay. And especially if you want to deal with the evolution state, yeah? So that's for another episode. And you can always check out my first episode I've ever put out, which was the cyano and the phycology, and that gives you the study of evolution within bacteria and algae. So now we're going to carry on now. Understanding that we got 80% good bacteria, 85% of that bacteria reside in our gut. Yeah? So that means that the gut is our primary source of good and bad bacteria. Remember, there's only a small percentage of bad bacteria or harmful or even harmless bacteria that resides in our gut. Yeah? How do we get introduced to this bacteria? We know now that the first introduction of good bacteria is when the baby leaves the womb and breastfeeding. This is some of the vital bacteria the baby receives as a child. These bacteria, good bacteria, helps one with the immune system, two with the development of your brain. Studies has been done where a lot of kids that have not been breed through the womb and breastfeed, they had to implement a lot of good bacteria to do a catch up. Yeah. So breastfeeding is vital stages of life. Yeah. So what are these good bacteria are called? And what is bad bacteria is called? Okay. So we're gonna deal with good bacteria, obviously, because we're talking about how we're gonna defend ourselves against this virus, yeah? So the good bacteria is known as probiotics. Yeah? Another name is associated with good bacteria is commensal bacteria. Yeah, but probiotics is the one that you would definitely need to go out and start looking for. So, and the bad bacteria known as pathogenic bacteria. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So, probiotics. I'm going to be giving you enlightenment with 3 probiotics that I want you to research and look at and look for. So the first one is going to be Bifidobacterium. Yeah. There are many different types of Bifidobacterium, yeah, but all of them are probiotics, meaning that they all benefit the body in ways similar or a little bit different. So the main function of bifidobacterium is the fact that it helps the body absorb nutrients, yeah, and it's one of our main help or defense mechanism against viruses, viral infections. Yeah, so bifido is one of those bacteria that helps out the immune systems in, especially when it comes to viral infections. Yeah, got another probiotic which is called Escherichia chia. Yeah, and like I said, coli. This specifically one is the one that you want to look for, only because Escherichia has a bad stigma on that name. You will find that there's a lot of harmful Escherichia out there, so you have to make sure you get the right one. You don't have to look for that when you're looking for probiotics. You're gonna have to look for this and the last one. So Escherichia helps with the breakdown of food, so your digestive system. Yeah, so it's good for digestive system. Yeah. And the last but not least that I'm going to be talking about is lactobacilli. And you should and acidophilus is also associated with that. So acidophilus and lactobacilli, but there's many. So these names you can definitely look up on and research. But lactobacilli, I personally know, is another fighting mechanism against viral. So viruses, yeah, basically, viral infections. These all helps our immune system fight against pathogens, foreign invaders, and viruses, yeah. So this is the probiotics: lactobacilli, bifidobacterium, yeah. You also get a lot of good probiotics from fermented food like fruit and etc. Yeah, and there's a well-viewed category of how bacteria get labeled and how they get associated with positive and negative, which you would find in gram positive and negative, Koji. This is the world view of bacteria, yeah. So these categories and sections have like basically all the bacteria will be categorized in these sections. There is a couple of bacteria that's not categorized in this section, but they're very rare. And this is bacilli, yeah? Bacilli and Koji. Like I was saying about Escherichia, been known as a harmful bacteria, and as I showed you that version that I'm talking about, which was the Colsey, is beneficial for the digesting system and how it breaks down food. Escherichia you will find in the negative koji. Yeah, so don't think all the probiotics going to be in the positive and all the pathogenic bacteria is going to be in the negative. Just have to do your research and find out which bacteria does what and what you're looking for. So that is the breakdown of microbiome and bacteria. Yeah, so now we're going to jump straight into the immune system now. Yeah, so the immune system, the head of the immune system, especially when it comes to fighting foreign substances, microbes and viruses, because I want to be dealing about that all on this episode, because I'm preparing you to understand the biology of defense mechanisms in your body. Yeah, your defense system in your body. Your defense systems are the bacteria and the immune system. That's your two line of defense. Yeah, so with the immune system you have leukocytes. Yeah, leukocytes here are one of the main central fighting system in your body, and these are located in different parts of your body. Yeah, and they are known, where it's located is known as lymphatic system. Yeah, you should have heard of this term, lymphatic system. Yeah, if you ain't heard of leukocytes. Yeah, lymphatic system. Lymphatic systems, you will find leukocytes in the spleen, your thymus, your lymph nodes, and also your bone marrow, where they are produced. There's many more areas, I just highlighted them. So lymphatic system will tell you where the leukocytes are harboring, where they're based at. But bone marrow is where they are produced. Yeah, so this is not all of them. Yeah, so with the lymphatic system and the leukocytes, you have two co-workers. Yeah, workers, I would say the two supervisors. Yeah, which are lymphatic system, no, leukocytes, sorry, let me write it down. Lymphocytes and phagocytes. Yeah, I'm going to discuss phagocytes first. Yeah, so with phagocytes, it has a larger structure than lymphocytes. Yeah, so the phagocytes are older as well. This is what comes naturally within your body since birth. Yeah, so this system is a little bit complex. It might be known as another system called innate immune system, yeah? Innate immune system. Yeah? And these phagocytes has 4 main code workers, which are monocytes, yeah, macrophages, granulocytes, and dendritic cells, yeah? That's all in the family of phagocytes, yeah? So, what does phagocytes do? I'm gonna just categorize all of them in that because they're all in a similar function. And what phagocytes basically do, they go around surrounding and absorb, crushing, yeah, any abnormal cells, dying cells, or dead cells, foreign substances, microbes, virus, and everything. It just tumbles over everything. This response, which is innate immune system response, is definitely backed by bacteria. Bacteria I just spoke about, the Perfido and the lactobacillus, and these are your fast, rapid arm response against viral infections. Yeah, so the innate immune systems, they are on a viral hunt. Yeah, so not saying that they don't touch anything else, but their main rapid response is in the viral. Yeah, so granulites, for example, had neutrophils. Neutrophils, yeah. Neutrophils is a granulite or granulocyte, yeah. That attacks bacteria, yeah. So I'm just giving you an example. Bacteria, bad bacteria, of course. So that's phagocytes, yeah. The innate immune system. Okay. The phagocytes and the innate immune system, they have a fighting defense, yeah. They have one fighting defense that I must speak about, yeah. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it more at the end, but I'll definitely mention it now. They have what you called natural killers, NK. This is what Bifido, bacterium, and lactobacilli helps. Natural killers, yeah? Okay. So now we're going to go into lymphocytes. So the lymphocytes has got key workers as well. The lymphocytes, yeah, will be known as adaptive immune system, yeah? So that's another term of lymphocytes, yeah? So lymphocytes, what do they have? They have what you called B cells and also T cells. B lymphocytes or T lymphocytes. That's what lymphocytes have. And what does B lymphocytes do? B lymphocytes are the cells that basically go around the body, circling like a, you can say like police go around circling, looking for anything, any problems, any issues with cells, any mutations, any abnormal cells, might even communicate with cells, hopefully getting a response back, just looking out for any type of errors in the body. That's what B cells do, yeah? So once now a B cell finds something that looks suspect, what does it do? Yeah? What B cells do, they secrete antibodies. What are antibodies? Antibodies are like markers, yeah? Each B cell has a different antibody, yeah? So not all of them secrete different types of antibodies. They all have their own specific ones, yeah? So antibodies are like markers. B cells just secrete them once they see a suspect. Yeah? And with the antibodies, as different B cells secrete different antibodies, the antibodies come in a category which is known as the immunoglobulins. Yeah? Immunoglobulins. And there are 5 of them. Yeah? And basically, they are for specific agents within the body. So one B cell might secrete an antibody for bacteria, another one might do it for viruses, yeah? So you got 5 different immunoglobulins that do different things. Okay, so once an antibody get attached to a suspect, alarm goes off basically, yeah? And depending on what immunoglobulin is attached to the suspect, determines what comes out to attack. So usually the T cells of the lymphocytes comes out. Yeah, the T cells comes out. And what they do, T cells, yeah? And what they do is basically destroy. Yeah? Destroy. So now I'm gonna break down T cells or T lymphocytes. So T lymphocytes, what do? You have 2 co-workers for T lymphocytes, which are helper T cells, and you got T killer cells. Basically, helper T cells help the B cells with their job. Once they secrete the antibody to a agent or suspect, the helper T cells indirectly try to exterminate and call out or set an alarm for the T killer cells. But the thing about the T killer cells with the adaptive immune system, it takes about 2 to 3 days to come, which is pretty slow, depending on what immune or goblin get attached to the suspect. It's depending on what comes out. Yeah. So I'm just gonna break down a little comparison now. Yeah. So now we looked at the adaptive system. We looked at the innate system. Yeah. With the innate system, that's backed up by, both of them are backed up by bacteria, but this one here, because it's a viral bacteria, viral infection, but a lot of bacterias are at war. So they are involved in the innate immune system, yeah? They have natural killers, yeah? The comparisons and the difference are the T cells, they come out for pathogens. Dying or dead cells. Basically anything that needs to be cleaned up. On a rapid response, natural killers get called out to wipe out viral infections, yeah, and bacterial infections and bacterial, antibacterial pathogens. Natural killers come out within hours, yeah, hours and days, yeah. So depending on the circumstances, what gets called out by the immunoglobulins, yeah. So that's the immune system. That's a quick breakdown of the immune system, yeah. So now we're gonna talk about viruses, yeah. Viruses. I just want to have people have a understanding of what's going on and how it's going on, yeah. That's the main thing, because a lot of people hear what's going on but don't know nothing about it, yeah, or don't understand how it affects people. So hopefully this video will break down as much information as possible. So viruses now. Viruses are infectious agents that finds living organisms to hijack and use as hosts for it to replicate itself. And viruses need hosts that have genetic material. So what does that mean? Genetic material is organisms that have DNA or RNA within the nucleus. Yeah? Viruses need living organisms with genetic material. So that's majority of your cells and microorganisms that's in your body. They pick targets, vulnerable ones, and it's not all, because the fact that red blood cells don't have no DNA, yeah. So red blood cells, it can't get hold of, and cornified cells, which is your hair and and red blood cells. Both of them ain't got DNA or RNA, yeah. So they can't hijack that, yeah. So the way that viruses hijack cells and use them as hosts is the way they do that is the fact of polymervirus is which where they can fool cells, tricking them so they can get close enough to the nucleus so they can hijack to get in the genetic material, which is the DNA and the RNA. And they do that in way of polymervirus. Yeah, so that's the term that they use to get close to cells. So once they get close to cells and they get into the nucleus where the genetic material is, I must highlight as well, viruses have their own DNA, and they have protein, and they have DNA and RNA. So what they do is, once they get close enough to get next to the nucleus where the genetic material is held, they secrete their RNA, their DNA, into the genetic material, rebooting the hardware, in other terms, and forcing the cell to act upon or do what the virus is telling them to do. What virus tells cells to do is to replicate themselves, yeah? So, as viruses are in the host making the cell reproduce the virus, it bundles up as many are made to the point where the cell explodes. When the cell explodes, you get many little viruses popping out, probably trying to attack more other cells to get involved to do the same thing. That term is called viral infection, yeah? And that whole cycle of hijacking hosts and remaking itself is called lactic cycle. Lactic cycle. Sorry. That's the way that they do it. So that's viruses. That's how they get into your body, and that's what they do once they're in there. So now we're going to look at the defenses, yeah? We're going to look at a defense called CRISPR. This is what scientists have been researching and come up with as a ideology or a concept. And what CRISPR is, in broken down, is clustered regularly spelling interspace short palindromic repeat. That's what it means. Yeah, clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeat. And what it does, and what is it, I should say, CRISPR is a family of DNA sequence that are found in the genome of prokaryotic, which is bacteria and archaea. Yeah? And these DNA fragments or sequence are of a bacteriophage. Yeah? So a bacteriophage yeah, is basically prokaryotic or a bacteria that basically has survived an attack of a virus. Yeah? Bacteriophage means a virus attacking the bacteria. I'm definitely going to do another video and take how bacteria and viruses has been warring for long time. Yeah, as we know, bacteria goes back to about 3.5 billion years ago. There's definitely a type of virus that's been out there that they found. The name I forgot, to tell you the truth, but this is something with a P, but I can't remember. But we talk about that on another episode. But yeah, so for example now, yeah, so in CRISPR, they have a sequence or fragment of a virus attack on a bacteria which survives, and what they do is attach that organism or that prokaryotic or that bacteria or that archaea that survived the attack against the virus. They attach that, they pair that with another form of prokaryotic, which is Cas9, also known as Cas9. This is a cyan. Yeah. So the reason why they pair it with this is because Cas9 Cas9 has the advantage of editing and teaching other bacteria, yeah, giving out information, schooling the bacteria. So what they did, or what they're doing, is putting them two together. The organism that survived the attack with the virus, with the Cas9, which edits the virus code and then teach it to the rest of the bacteria in your body. Basically, that's what it does. Yeah. Cas9 chops the code of the virus, the attack from the virus. Yeah. Teaches it to the bacteria that is within your body. So when viruses in like that would enter the body, they would know what it is when they come to attack. It's similar to what they use in the methodology of vaccine, but the difference is with vaccines they would inject your body with the virus, at a small contact where your immune system can actually identify and attack it, or even give you a sample of the dead coding of the virus, so your immune system can identify what it is and be alert for when it comes again. So it's a form of vaccine, but in a micro way, yeah? And that is CRISPR. They're looking into that because that's upgrading your immune system slash bacteria in a way which is going to benefit us. So scientists are looking at that. But the thing is about viruses are smart. Yeah? They have RNA and DNA, a small sequence, so they have information. That's what RNA and DNA is like. It's information, instructions. You see what I'm saying? So what has virus done is learned or manufactured a way to get around CRISPR. But if you have CRISPR DNA fragments within your body, it wouldn't allow the virus to do that. Because the virus would actually produce a anti-CRISPR protein within a cell, having it going against the CRISPR function and the mythology. So it's very smart that the virus does, and the way that it can mutate and evolve, swerving away around anything that's out to exterminate it. So definitely gonna do a video on how bacteria and viruses has been at war since life began. But that's just about understanding of how it works. That is CRISPR. Yeah. So now I'm gonna be breaking down the ways you can elevate or structure your immune system, and I'm going to be breaking down how probiotics and the immune system co-respond with each other and help each other attack viral infections, and even the fact that probiotics protect our respiratory system. Yeah, via mucus layer and epithelial service. Yeah, probiotics are everywhere. Commensal bacteria protects your airways. From foreign agents. So how the probiotics. Probiotics also can help with the keeping in line making sure that your immune system is properly in balance. Yeah. And it can also alters the mood of an individual. Yeah. Because probiotics send and stimulate neurons in the enteric nervous system. Yeah. For example, serotonin. Serotonin now is the chemical that makes you happy. You might have heard that stress compromises the immune system. Well, probiotics make sure that well-being and happiness get introduced to your being. Yeah. So 95. This is in the enteric nervous system, and this is via vagus nerves. Yeah. So that's the system, the way it sends the neurons to the brain neuron transmitter. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how that does that. Yeah. 95 of this serotonin is resigned in your gut. Yeah. So that 5% is the back and forth from the gut to the brain. Yeah. So now we're going to be talking about how to feed our probiotics. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about a term called prebiotics. Yeah. This is what feeds. This is what feeds the probiotics, prebiotics. There's quite a few prebiotics. I'm not gonna put them all down, but when you do your own research, you'll find out all the different types of prebiotics. The ones I'm gonna talk about is the ones that I use. Yeah. So, for example, resistant starch. It's a prebiotic, yeah? What is resistant starch? Starches, or starch, you will find in vegetables like potato, yam, cassava, yeah? Resistant starch is what you can find in bananas, yeah? Green, plantain, and matoke, etc. Yeah, this is the resistant starch, and there's definitely a way where you can turn the starches like potato and that into resistant starch, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. But resistant starch is the starch that feeds the good bacteria. And the way that happens is the fact that resistant starch can't get ingested in the small intestines. Yeah? It gets pushed through into the large where it fermentates. And when it fermentates, the probiotics can eat off that. Yeah? That's long story broken down short. So now, that's resistant starch. You have another prebiotic, which is called inulin fiber, which you can find in fruit. Yeah, this is the prebiotics that feeds the good bacteria. You want to make sure that you feed and have more good bacteria in your colon, because a poor diet feeds bad bacteria. Yeah, what feeds bad bacteria? The sugars, red meat, I would say meat, and go on, and etc. Yeah, sugar, red meat, bad food. Yeah, feed the pathogenic bacteria. So, bad diet breeds that. Yeah. We need to understand that our diet compromises our immune system. Yeah. But that's a conversation for another day. So now I want to be talking about the minerals and the vitamins that help strengthen our immune system. So we're going to be looking at minerals, vitamins, and phytochemicals. Yeah. So the minerals, you got copper, we have zinc, we have magnesium, we have iodine. What else do we have? Selenium. Yeah, these are the antiviral. Yeah, these are all the antivirals. Yeah, so with vitamins now, you have ascorbic acid, you have thiamine, you have yeah, and phytochemicals. We have phenols, flavonoids, riboflavin, and yeah. So, and also you got rutin and hesperidin. Yeah. Let me break down a couple of things now. Yeah. This is all the this is not all, but this is the ones that I use anyway to help fight against viral. Yeah. So with this ascorbic acid. So with ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, it has to be accompanied with magnesium and D3. D3 you get from the sun, yeah? For your body to absorb ascorbic acid, you need magnesium and D3. Yeah. So that's another thing about when you get supplements. You don't want to overload with one element. Most of the elements have to be accompanied with something for it to be beneficial for your body. Yeah. So you going out and buying supplements as vitamin C and not having it with the company of D3 and magnesium, you're just gonna overload and do yourself harm. Yeah. So we need to understand that ascorbic acid works with magnesium and the sun. Yeah. So where do you find some of these antiviral mineral, vitamin and phytochemicals? Yeah. I'll give you the ones. Okay. For one, you can find copper, magnesium in walnuts. Yeah. So C and M in walnuts. Yeah. You're gonna find iodine in algae. Yeah. So that's from CMOS to bladderwracks, very high in bladderwracks, and spirulina. Yeah. Prebiotics is in algae anyway. So if you're using CMOS and products like that, you're feeding the good bacteria anyway. Selenium, you can find it in Brazil nuts. Yeah. So copper, magnesium, walnuts, the iodine in the algae, the Brazil nuts, you have selenium. Yeah, ascorbic acid. You need to get this cherry, which is called Ace Corolla. Other name is called Barbados cherry. It's got the phytochemicals that is antiviral. Yeah. And it's the highest content in vitamin C in the world, one of them. Yeah, so you definitely want to get your hold of some Ace Corolla cherry or Barbados cherry. And one other thing that I must talk about, like I said, that algae is got the polyphenols, antiviral, and the fact that it's a prebiotic. For example, CMOS has got 92 minerals, so it's got all those minerals that you need regardless, antiviral, and the phytochemicals, slash polyphenols, yeah, and the fact that it's algae, yeah, grandson or son of the cyanobacteria, yeah, so it's a prebiotic in nature, yeah. So another form of bacteria which is beneficial, yeah, is a fungus, yeah, fungus. This fungus I'm going to be talking about, yeah, is called turkey tail mushroom. This fungus has powerful antiviral chemicals in it, especially within the mycelium, sorry. It has, yeah, polysaccharopeptides, yeah, polysaccharides, yeah. These are antiviral defenses, yeah. And that is turkey tail mushroom. I'm gonna definitely do a deeper topic and a subject on this right here. Stay in tune. But the fact that it's got polysaccharide is an anti-defense system for our body. We need to get a handhold of that. We need to get a handhold of that Barbados cherry, and we need to make sure that we get all those nuts, prebiotics in our body, probiotics in our body. You can get probiotics in a form of capsules. You know what I mean? This one's got loads. So just to let you know what you're looking for when you're looking for probiotics, yeah? You can even get some probiotics for kids as well in chocolate form, 1 billion live bacteria, balls. This is what I give my daughter. I wouldn't. And then you get these for the adults, 3 billion. But the sugar in it is a little bit, you know, because it feeds bad bacteria as well. So we don't want to be doing that. But yeah, and it's Corolla. You can definitely get hold of that because I got that. The highest content of vitamin C, and it's got all the polyphenols, the flavonoids, yeah, the rutin, yeah. So it's got strong antiviral agents in it, yeah. And you can get that in a powder form to make sure. This is all the stuff that I have, yeah. You know what I mean? Inuin. And the sea moss, of course, the sea moss. I've got the spirulina. So yeah, so that's me. So I'm not, the thing is I want to make sure, you know what I mean, the walnuts and all that. I want to make sure that, and another thing as well, we can't forget bitters. Sorry, we have to mention bitters. Bitters are a antiviral. Antiviral. So Cerasee. Yeah, Cerasee, sorry by the spelling. But Cerasee, you got Marby and bitters, yeah. So just gonna let you know I do have this and I do use what I'm talking about. Yeah. And basically, yeah. Good luck. As I showed you different types of probiotics and forms of prebiotics and different type of vitamin C. I wake up in the morning, make sure I'm out in the sun and I drink this, take shots of this, yeah? So you have to make sure you got your vitamin D and your magnesium and your selenium, which you'll find in the Brazil nuts. And hope everything goes well. And thank you for listening to my video. Peace out. That's Eazi.